Welcome to SciSpectrum Lab Essentials, your source for equipment, instrument, and consumables.
Okay, first things first. Let's just establish a baseline. When you look at the Sartorius BSA6202S CW, what kind of instrument are we really talking about here? So, at its core, it's an electronic precision balance. Simple enough, right? But honestly, that label barely even scratches the surface. Let's break down what precision balance actually means in this case. See, this is not just some passive tool. It has a built-in motorized calibration weight. That means it can keep itself accurate automatically, which is a huge deal. The backlit display makes sure everything is crystal clear. And you've got specialized controls, like selectable filter levels, that let it adapt to different lab environments. The big takeaway here, it's designed for active, reliable, hands-off accuracy. Now for the fun part. Let's look at the raw data. This is where we get into the real nitty-gritty of what this balance can do. Because when it comes to precision work, the numbers, well, they tell the whole story. First up, capacity. We're talking 6,200 grams or 6.2 kilograms. That is the absolute maximum weight this balance can handle. For an instrument with this level of precision, that's a really substantial capacity. It makes it incredibly versatile for all kinds of lab applications. And here's the other side of that coin. 0.001 grams. That's the readability. It's the absolute smallest change in weight that the balance can actually detect and show you. Just think about that for a second. It's an incredible level of sensitivity, and it's absolutely essential for things like formulation or quality control, where every tiny little fraction of a gram matters. So putting it all together, you get this complete performance profile. You've got the big capacity and the tiny readability. But then look at repeatability and linearity. Repeatability of plus or minus 0.01 grams means if you weigh the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same result. You can trust it. And linearity of plus or minus 0.02 grams means that accuracy stays consistent across the entire weighing range. That's so critical for something like pharmaceuticals, where the accuracy of a 5-gram ingredient has to be just as solid as a 5-kilogram one. And it does all of this fast, in about 1.1 seconds on average. Okay, so we've established it's powerful, it's precise. But, modern lab work needs more than just raw specs. So let's look at the intelligent features, the stuff that makes this balance not just powerful, but actually smart. And that's a fair question, right? The precision is obviously top tier. But what are the built-in features that automate the tedious stuff, make sure your data is solid, and just generally make your life easier? And here you can see the core of its intelligence. We already talked about that motorized calibration for automatic accuracy, but check out the bidirectional RS-232 port. This is huge. It means the balance can send and receive data so it can plug right into a lab's information system. This is what allows for compliant record keeping for standards like ISO and GLP. That's good laboratory practice, which in regulated fields is completely non-negotiable. Even that little hanger for below balance weighing is a smart touch for dealing with weirdly shaped samples. And beyond the hardware, this thing is loaded with integrated applications. And these aren't just little features. We're talking about entire workflows built right into the device. You can count thousands of tiny identical parts. You can do percentage calculations for formulations. You can even get a stable weight for something that's moving, like an animal weighing. It'll also handle complex net total recipes and even do basic multiplication for you. It's seriously like having a little lab assistant built right in. All this tech is fantastic, but at the end of the day, it has to exist in the physical world, on a real lab bench, right? So let's look at the practical design choices that make this balance a tough, durable, real-world tool. Okay, here's the footprint. The weighing pan itself is a nice, generous 180 by 180 millimeters, giving you plenty of room to work. The housing is pretty compact, and at 3.6 kilos, it's a solid, sturdy unit that isn't going to get knocked around easily. These numbers show a device that was designed to fit right into a busy lab without taking over the whole bench. And that thoughtful design goes all the way down to the smallest details. It's got overload protection so you don't accidentally damage it, there's a lug for an anti-theft device to keep it secure, and crucially, it has leveling feet and the level indicator, because a perfectly level surface is absolutely essential for getting an accurate weight. These might not be the flashiest features, but for day-to-day reliability, they are vital.